Hello everyone, my name is Roya and today I'm coming to you with the best books that I read in 2023. So I do have 5 books here that I was able to narrow it down to. Actually there's 6 books, 2 of them are of the same series, so they're counting as one item, and they are actually all by the same 3 authors. So anyway, I did have a lot of really amazing reads this year. I had several 5-star reads, and it was actually a little bit difficult to narrow it down. Usually I only have about 5-star reads in a year, and so I kind of go, okay, those are my best. So I did have a lot more 5-star reads than this, which was really cool. So anyway, coming in at number 5, we have Finally Seen by Kelly Young. This is about a girl who was left behind in China when her parents tried to move to the US for, better opportunity, etc., etc. And then finally the day comes when they are actually asking her to come and join them in the United States. She has a little sister who was just a baby at the time, so she went with them. And so she gets there and she sees that, not only is her little sister, is her little sister's English so much better than hers, but her parents are not really making it as much as she thought. Her dad's job really does not pay enough to live on at all, like not even close. And so most of their money comes from, selling bath bombs on Etsy. And so she has to, she ends up trying to help as much as she can with that. And it's just insane how much a young kid, this is like a middle grade book. I think the main character is like 12 maybe. And so she is worried about her parents' finances, like her family's finances, so much more than your typical young girl does at that age. It's just insane. And then at her new school, she starts reading, she's encouraged to start reading more books to get better at English and all of that. And so she discovers a book by a Chinese American author, and she really sees herself in it. And then a parent comes in and says, well, this book should be banned because it basically that it shows racism, it shows people being racist, and she's worried about that not being a very accurate depiction and all of that. And she thinks that I just see people and people should all just be treated the same, and totally wants to kind of erase the fact that that is people's experiences. People really are victimized in that way. And so the kids and several parents show up at a meeting where the book is challenged, and the book winds up not being banned. And it's just so interesting. This whole book was so good. I could barely put it down. I listened to it on audiobook, and the audiobook was so good. I really, really enjoyed this book so much. And it was also so interesting that it was about book banning. And it is a banned, it was a banned or challenged book as well. And it was written in response to the next book I'm going to talk about, which was also, because this book was also banned and challenged. So coming in at number 4, we have Front Desk, also by Kelly Young. This was also an incredible read that it was so hard to put down, and I absolutely loved every minute of this book. It's about a girl who moved to the US from China at a young age and ends up working the front desk and she's like 10 when this book takes place. She's working the front desk at a motel that her parents work at, and basically because her parents are so busy cleaning all the rooms and doing all this other stuff, so they put her in charge of the front desk. The motel they work at is owned by a guy who is also Asian, so they think that he would empathize with someone who's also an immigrant from an Asian country, but he does not empathize at all. He totally thinks that, he totally just treats everyone like absolute crap. And this book was so good that I actually went on to read the rest of the series as well. This is actually an ongoing series, and it's so good. Like, there are just so many amazing things about it. I didn't give the rest of the series 5 stars. I gave them 4 stars because I don't think they quite hit on the nose like as much as this one did, but I really did enjoy the whole series. I thought it was really, really good. Coming in at number 3, we have Liberty's Daughter by Naomi Kritzer. Naomi Kritzer is an author that I just discovered this year, and her books are just so good. She is just such a storytelling master. Just not even necessarily the plot is what really gets me. It's the storytelling and how much conflict she keeps putting in, where we think we've seen the last of the conflict, but no, like there's a little bit of a survivalistic story in this. This is about a girl who has grown up her whole life on an island, or a series of islands called the Seastead. It's basically a bunch of man-made islands and ships put together to make more islands and stuff like that, and it's just kind of a mess. And a lot of people end up going to live there because things are illegal there that are not legal in the US. People who are in debt literally become slaves, and it's just a gigantic mess. And so this girl, who is really clever. She really, like, for someone so young, she can like really think around corners and really get herself into and out of all kinds of situations. She starts off trying to basically find someone's sister for her, because this person whose sister she wants to find just has something that someone else wants, who's gonna like pay her for it. So she just kind of thinks like, well, why not, make that money, even if I have to find a whole person to do that, at least find out where she is. And so in doing that, she ends up unraveling a lot of what is actually going on in this world she lives in. And it's just crazy. And it's not even the plot that's so good. It's everything that the main character is put through, every conflict the author introduces. It's amazing. Coming in at number 4, we have Catfishing on Catnet and Chaos on Catnet, also by Naomi Kritzer, for the same reasons that, the storytelling is just so good, so full of conflict, that's thought out really well, and all of that. So here we have basically the story of a girl who has never lived in one place for very long because her mother keeps just at the last minute going, oh no, we have to leave this town and like run somewhere else. And they just kind of go wherever the wind takes them because supposedly her father is after them. And all the while, our main character is also part of this online forum, which is really her only real escape and her only real friend group because she stays in one place for so little. So she basically ends up finding out what really happened between her mom and her dad, and some computer programming stuff and other things, and how much danger she's really in. And she ends up having to get the people on her online forum group to help her, and as well as her new friends in the town that she's currently in as well. So it's absolutely insane. The second book introduces a whole new conflict that, because the first one ties up the original conflict, the second book has a whole new storyline to it, and it is equally insane and really makes you think about how easy it is to for people to be controlled when they don't realize it, and it's just so terrifying and weird. But yeah, so I would highly recommend these books so much. Finally, coming in at number 1, we have Only This Beautiful Moment by Abdi Nazimian. He is an author whose books I have loved ever since his first YA book came out. I have been buying every single book that he puts out just because I already know there's a really, really high chance of it getting 5 stars. So mostly he writes about Iranian main characters and gay Iranian main characters, which I really appreciate, being a queer Iranian myself. And I just think that his characters and his writing style are so good. Like, even if he wrote something that didn't have any kind of story that I was interested in, I would still read it for the writing. Like, that's how good his writing is. He really has a way with words. So This particular book is a young adult book about a boy named Mood, short for Mahmoud, but he does not want to share his name with Mahmoud Ahmadinejad because we all know that he is famous for saying there are no gay people in Iran. And it's like, dude, no, like they just don't tell you they're gay. Come on. So basically, so Mood is a gay Iranian teenager living in the US, and he ends up going to Iran for the first time to visit his grandfather. And in doing that, and he has it, and so his mother passed away before he ever came out as gay. His dad does not seem very accepting. He doesn't even seem to really want to talk about the fact that his son is gay. So every time he mentions like his boyfriend or anything relating to him being gay, his dad is always just kind of like, okay, I'll see you later, bye. Pretty much like he just tries to avoid the subject entirely. So every second chapter actually follows his dad as a young man leaving Iran during the revolution and going to the US. And then every third chapter follows his grandfather being a young American kid who doesn't know that he's Iranian. And it's just absolutely insane. It's really interesting to see, you know, like the idea of being queer in three different time periods, and just the whole, just everything going on in this book made it so hard to put down. I just had to keep reading it. It was so incredible. So anyway, I absolutely love this book and I can't recommend it enough. So anyway, those are the books that were my best of the year. Let me know if you've read any of these, have any thoughts on them, any of that, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!